Hey YouTube, thought I'd show you this new setup I put together for trimming brass. I just bought this Lyman Case Prep Center, and it comes with a lot of different tools. I've got a couple of add-on tools on here. This is the Lee trimming system that uses these length gauges and a cutter, and there's a particular model of the cutter that you can buy that is threaded on the bottom to fit into these stations. So you get the cutter and you get the lock stud, and you can use that for different calibers. And then this is the length gauge for 30-06, and here's the shell holder that goes with the 30-06. So you take the shell holder and you screw it onto the lock stud like that, and then what I do is I take a stubby screwdriver. This is a Klein, but it could be any stubby screwdriver that takes different bits, and I just put that in there like that and that makes it easier for me to hold the case. So here's a case, 30-06 case that I've resized, and the max is supposed to be 494, and this is 506, so this is too long. So let's run it through here and I'll show you what I do. First you just slip it in here and give it a little twist. That locks it in. Turn on the station, and then this thing goes down to the cutter, and then it'll cut until that little tip is pushing up against this lock stud, and then it just can't go any further. So I can feel it cutting, and I see the chips flying. Okay, just let it keep cutting. And this little stubby screwdriver is a lot easier for me to hold on to than just to hold on to the lock stud. So that's why I do that. Okay, now I feel it's done cutting. We'll do a little inside chamfer, a little outside chamfer. Then I take it out of here, and this is a primer pocket uniformer. Okay, now let's measure it again and see what it's at now. Okay, now it's down to 492, which is, the max is 494. Okay, so this is down within spec now. The only other thing that I have that I didn't show you is I have a little Lee tool that you stick in the primer pocket. It's got a go gauge and a no-go gauge, and if it's too small to go in there, then I'll swage this out a little bit. If it needs a whole lot of swaging, then this cutter right here will cut it out. But this is really aggressive, so I don't use that except as a last resort. But this usually is enough to just uniform it out. So anyway, that's how I do it. And then for the next caliber, here's 223. Here's the length gauge for the 223, which would go there. And then this is the lock stud, or the shell holder that goes onto the lock stud for 223. So you buy one of these, and then you buy as many of these as you have calibers. Now, these cutters are so cheap from Lee. Well, I buy them from Midway, but they're so cheap that I think what I'm going to do is just leave that mounted, and I'll just buy a separate cutter for each caliber. I have 3 calibers that I trim. So that's 30-06. I've got another one for 308, and here's the one for 223. So I hope that helps.